Hi all. Myself, Dr. Raj, Assistant Professor in Department of Biomedical Engineering, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Kattangaluru. I'll be taking a short course on medical image processing. The modules that will be covered are fundamental image operations, image enhancement methods, image restoration and reconstruction methods, image segmentation methods, image compression, and image fusion methods. The module 1 will be discussing on the fundamental steps in digital image processing, brightness, range adaptation and discrimination, image sensing and acquisition, basic concepts in image sampling and quantization, some basic relationship between pixels, image arithmetic operations and logical operations. First of all, we should know what is an image. An image is an array or a matrix pixels that will be arranged in columns and rows. So we know that how a signal will be, right? A signal will be a one-dimensional array only. So an image will be a two-dimensional array. So it will consist of both columns and rows. So it will be having a spatial representation or a two-dimensional of a spatial representation of a two-dimensional or a three-dimensional scene. So it can be a spatial representation. So the image types will be, so the RGB image will be there, indexed images, and grayscale images and black and white images. So RGB images that consist of red, green, and blue components will be there. And the range will be from 0 to 255. It will be of 8 bits. And indexed images, it consists of only an indexed array will be there. So, and grayscale images, so it will be having different shades of gray will be there. So the range will be from 0 to 255. And extra examples you can see in the X-ray scan, CT and all. And black and white images, it constitute either higher intensity or a lower intensity. That means the lower intensity will be black and higher intensity will be white. So that can be given as 0 for black or 0 and 1 for white or 254 for white. So why we need a digital image processing? So the improvement of pictorial information is very much needed for the human interpretation. So the processing of image data for storage, transmission, and representation for autonomous machine perception is very much needed in this new era. So first topic we'll cover is the fundamental steps in digital image processing. So these are the main important steps that we needed to do any kind of processing and animation. So first one, what we need is the image acquisition. Okay, so we need to acquire the image, or we need to acquire the image with the help of a device. And after that, we need to go for the image filtering and enhancement. Then the image restoration is there. Then color image processing will be there. So that means the image will be of a grayscale component that can be converted into a color component like RGB. And wavelet multi-resolution processing will be there, and compression will be there. Morphological processing will be there, segmentation, representation and description, and object recognition. So we'll see one by one. So what is meant by an image acquisition? So retrieving an image from a source, usually a hardware-based source for processing. So nowadays everyone will be capturing the image using your mobile phone. So your mobile phone is an image acquisition device. So the image acquisition also needs some pre-processing such as a scaling and all. And next one is the image enhancement. So like in your mobile phone itself, you'll be having some mode for enhancing the image, some kind of processing already it will be there in your mobile phone. So the first one here that will be is nothing but the image enhancements. It's nothing but it will improve the quality of the pixels. So for future processing. And next third one is the image restoration. So it's nothing but it will restore the image that will be affected by the noise. So always we know that will be capturing an image. So there will be some kind of noise that may be due to the motion of the object, or when your hand is shaking, the like your mobile phone or the capturing device also will shake. So that all will cause some noises. So this image restoration will it will get the original image that will be affected by the noise. So next is a color image processing. So it gains the importance as there significant increase in the use of digital image. So here we know that all the images will be of the color format, that is an RGB format. So the processing of each component will give you a different, or the higher quality of the image components. Wavelet and multi-resolution processing, it represents the image in various degree of resolution. And compression is a very important technique. So that means if you want to send your image or a data through a channel, so we need to compress it. Okay, so that compression is to it limit the bandwidth of the particular image. So next is the morphological processing. It deals with the tools for extracting the image components. So next is another important technique. It's a segmentation. It's nothing but you need to segment or partition the image for further processing. For example, if you want to find a tumor in a brain MRI or in a brain CT, so in that the whole part of the brain won't be affected with tumor. So a segment or a part of the brain will be affected with tumor. So what you need to do for the easier easier to understand where the tumor is, first you have to segment the image, and each segment you have to study where the tumor or a particular irregular information is there or not. So that is called segmentation. And representation and description. So always follow the output of segmentation process. So your output of the segmentation that will be given in the form of a chart or a graph. So that is the representation of the particular output. And object recognition. So processing that assigns a label to an object based on the descriptors. So that is called the object recognition. So next is nothing but, so I hope all of you understood what is the fundamental steps in an image processing. So all these fundamental steps we'll be studying one by one in the following modules. So next is the components of image processing system. So it's nothing but any hardware or anything we need a processor to process the information, right? So that is the in that only we study about the components of image processing system. So first of all, we need a computer will be there. So that is having image processing hardware. So the image processing hardware, a hard copy, all those things will be there. So first of all, our image sensor will capture the image. It will be given to the image processing hardware, and it will be connected to a computer. So the computer will have an option to display the image. Also, it will store the image, and it is also having a hard copy device to store that entire image for a long duration. And also it has an image processing software. So the image sensors are nothing but, so what is an image sensor? So it will sense the intensity, amplitude, or coordinate of an image. For example, an image will be given by image is given by f of x comma y, where x and y are nothing but your spatial coordinates, and f of x comma y is nothing but the intensity. So those intensity or the spatial coordinates will be captured with the help of a sensor. So this includes the problem domain and image processing hardware. So it is a dedicated hardware will be there to use. It will be used to process the instruction obtained from the image sensor. It passes the result to a general purpose hardware. So hardware computer. So the computer used in the image processing system is a general purpose computer that is used by us in our daily life. So we can use a general purpose normal computer can be used in the image processing system. And image processing software will be there. So the image processing software that includes all mechanisms and algorithms that will be used in the image processing system. So we have studied the fundamental steps in the image processing. In that we studied about different steps. All these steps will be done in the image processing software, like image enhancement, image segmentation, image restoration. All these things will be done. All this process will be done in the image processing software. So after this processing, we'll be getting the image what we want. So we need to store it, right? So for that, we need a mass storage. And after that, we're having a hard copy device. So that can be an external ROM device. So that will be storing the entire image for a long duration. And you're having an image display. It includes the monitor or screen to display the processed image. And finally, you're having a network. Network is the connection of all the above components in the image processing software or image processing system. That's nothing but it will contain all the information together. So that's it about the image components of an image processing system. So I hope you understood what is the fundamental steps in image processing system and the components in an image processing system.